Drive is a desktop application that quickly accesses Google Drive data on demand. Google Drive data is saved online, in the cloud. This keeps hard drive space on your computer free, as Google Drive uses the least amount of space possible. All your files can be accessed effortlessly, from any computer, in any location, as long as you have an internet connection. Google Drive runs silently in the background, detecting changes made to data, and saving those changes immediately online. Follow these steps to get an introduction into how to install and use Google Drive for desktop. What can Google Drive for desktop do? The Google Drive application has a lot of useful features which include a dramatically decreased sync time, minimal local disk space and network bandwidth usage. Most document types can be opened and edited directly from Google Drive, nothing needs to be downloaded to your computer. Changes to files and folders are made in real time and saved to the file or folder in your online Google Drive account. Install Google Drive for desktop. Log into your Google account with the credentials you have been provided. Left-click on the Google Apps button to display the drop-down menu. Left-click on the Drive button. The Google Drive page will open. Left-click on the Settings button to display the drop-down menu. The Settings drop-down menu will be displayed. Left-click on the Get Drive for Desktop menu option. The Use Google Drive for Desktop with Work or School page will open. Left-click on the Download and Install Google Drive for Desktop menu option to expand the section. You may have to scroll down to see this option on your screen. The Download and Install Google Drive for Desktop section will be expanded. Left-click on the Download for Windows button. The executable installation file will be downloaded to your computer. Run the executable installation file. Left-click on the executable file once the download has completed to begin the installation process. You may need administrator credentials to install Google Drive for desktop. The Install Google Drive window will open. Save time by letting the install process create shortcuts for you. Left-click on the Add an Application shortcut to your desktop checkbox and place a checkmark in the box to automatically create a Google Drive for desktop shortcut on your desktop. Left-click on the Add Desktop Shortcuts to Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides checkbox and place a checkmark in the box to automatically create Google Drive for desktop shortcuts for Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides. Left-click on the Install button. The Google Drive window will open. Left-click on the Sign in with Browser button. The Sign in page will open. Left-click in the email or phone field and type in your email address. Left-click on the Next button. You will be prompted to enter your password on the next screen. The Sign in page will now ask for your password. Left-click in the Enter Your Password field and type in the password for your email account. Left-click on the Next button. The Google Drive for desktop wants to access your Google account page will open. Scroll down until you reach the bottom of the page. The Make Sure You Trust Google Drive for Desktop section will be displayed. Left-click on the Allow button. The Success page will open, confirming that you successfully signed into Google Drive for desktop. You may now close this page. Google Drive for desktop will now display the Welcome to Google Drive window. Left-click on the right arrow button until a new button appears on the bottom of the Welcome to Google Drive window. The Open Google Drive folder button will be displayed. Left-click on the Open Google Drive folder button. Your Google Drive folder will open, showing My Drive, the place where you will find all your files on Google Drive, which only you can access, and Shared Drives, the place where you will find all the common files that you and your teammates can access. Access your files or folders. You can easily access your files or folders by using one of the Google Drive shortcuts on your desktop. The Google Drive shortcut will open your Google Drive folder. Here you can find all the files in your Google Drive account. The Google Docs shortcut will open your Google Docs page in your default browser. Here you can find all the documents in your Google Drive account. The Google Sheets shortcut will open your Google Sheets page in your default browser. Here you can find all the spreadsheets in your Google Drive account. The Google Slides shortcut will open your Google Slides page in your default browser. Here you can find all the presentations in your Google Drive account. Share files or folders. Google Drive for Desktop allows for easily sharing files with your coworkers. To start sharing files or folders, open your Google Drive folder by double-clicking on the Google Drive shortcut on your desktop. Your Google Drive folder will open. Double-click on the My Drive folder. The My Drive folder will open, displaying all your files and folders in Google Drive. Right-click on the file or folder that you would like to share. The context menu for that file or folder will be displayed. Left-click on the Share with Google Drive menu option. The Google Drive sharing dialog window will open. Left-click in the Add People and Groups field and start typing the email address of the coworkers you would like to share the file or folder with. After you finish typing in the email address, the email address you just entered will be validated and will be displayed under the Input field. Left-click on the email address displayed as an option, under the Input field. The Share with People and Groups section will be displayed. Left-click in the Notify People checkbox to place a checkmark in the box. This way your coworkers will receive an email notification letting them know that you shared a file or folder with them. Left-click in the message box and type in a message for your coworkers. They will receive this message in the email notification sent to them when you share the file or folder. You can assign different roles to the coworkers you are sharing files or folders with. This will affect what they can do with the files or folders. Left-click on the Editor option to display the full list of roles. The editor role will always be selected by default. The complete list of roles will be displayed. The viewer role allows your coworkers to view the files or folders, but they will not be able to add comments or to make changes to them. This is usually used for people that just need read-only access to files or folders, to use the information in their daily work. People with the viewer role are not involved with reviewing or changing the files or folders. The commenter role allows your coworkers to view and add comments to the files or folders, but they will not be able to make changes to them. This is usually used for people that are reviewing the files or folders, but not making active changes. The review findings are usually posted as comments to each individual file or folder. The editor role, selected by default, allows your coworkers to view, add comments and make changes to the files or folders. This is usually used for people that will actively contribute with changes to the files or folders. This acts similar to a Windows administrator role over the shared files or folders, so this should only be granted to people that need to make active changes to the shared files or folders. Left-click on the role that you would like to assign to your coworkers for these files or folders. Once everything is set up, left-click on the Send button to share the files or folders with your coworkers. They will receive a notification letting them know that you shared some files or folders with them. If you are sharing files or folders with people outside of your organization, the Share Outside of Organization pop-up will be displayed. Left-click on the Share Anyway option to share your files or folders. When sharing files or folders outside of your organization, make sure you are only sharing them with trusted people. Access shared files or folders. To access files or folders that were shared with you by someone else, you need to add those files or folders to your Drive in Google Drive. Open your favorite web browser and navigate to Google Drive. Left-click on the Shared with Me menu option. Right-click on each shared file or folder that you would like to access in Google Drive for Desktop. Left-click on the Add a Shortcut to Drive menu option. The Drive menu will be displayed. Left-click on the My Drive menu option. Left-click on the Add Shortcut button. You may have to scroll down to see these options on your screen. The shared files or folders will be added to the My Drive section of your Google Drive account. You can also see the shared or files folders in the Google Drive for Desktop app by opening your Google Drive folder and going in the My Drive folder. Congratulations! You successfully learned the basics for installing and using Google Drive for Desktop. If you are having problems, please contact the help desk by phone, email, or by using our support chat service.